The moment the Spotify counter quietly ticked past 50 million, fans across the world knew something special had just happened. Another Level, Jin's powerful solo track, had crossed a milestone that many artists spend entire careers chasing, and it did so with a steady, organic climb rather than a sudden spike. What began as a song celebrated mainly within the BTS fandom has now transformed into a global streaming force, proving once again that Jin's voice carries far beyond the boundaries of any single group release. Listeners describe Another Level as the kind of track that sneaks up on you. Its dramatic build, emotional delivery, and cinematic energy invite repeat plays, the kind that quietly stack up day after day until one morning the numbers look unreal. That slow burn success is exactly what makes the 50 million mark so striking. It reflects not just curiosity clicks, but commitment. Fans returning, playlists circulating, casual listeners turning into devoted supporters. Social media erupted as soon as the achievement was noticed. Screenshots of the stream count spread across platforms within minutes, accompanied by celebratory hashtags, fan-made posters, and short clips of people replaying their favorite parts of the song. Some fans traced the journey from the track's release to its present status, highlighting how it kept climbing even when newer songs flooded the charts. Others focused on Jin himself, praising how his individuality as an artist continues to shine alongside his global fame as a BTS member. Industry watchers are paying attention too. In an era where streaming numbers often surge and fall within weeks, the longevity of Another Level hints at something deeper than trend-driven hype. It signals staying power, an ability to connect with listeners who may not even follow K-pop closely, but who stumble upon the song and keep it on rotation. That kind of reach is what turns a popular release into a career-defining moment. For Jin, the milestone adds another chapter to his solo journey that keeps gaining momentum. Each new achievement feels less like an isolated victory and more like part of a widening pattern, expanding audiences, increasing recognition, and a growing catalog of songs that resonate on a massive scale. Fans are already speculating about what this could mean for future releases, live performances, and potential chart runs in different countries, seeing the 50 million mark not as a finish line, but as a launchpad. As the streams continue to rise, one thing is clear: Another Level is living up to its title. What started as a single track has now become a symbol of Jin's enduring appeal, powered by millions of plays, countless repeat listens, and a worldwide audience that keeps pressing replay. And if the past weeks are any indication, this milestone might only be the beginning of an even bigger surge yet to come. The celebration surrounding the 50 million stream milestone has also reopened conversations about how Another Level fits into Jin's artistic evolution. Longtime fans point out how the song highlights a more intense, commanding side of his vocals, balancing vulnerability with confidence in a way that feels distinctly his own. Critics who revisit the track now often frame it differently than they did at release, noting how its production and delivery seem tailor-made for repeat listening in an era dominated by playlists and algorithm-driven discovery. Behind the scenes, analysts are tracking where those millions of streams are coming from. Data shared by fan communities suggest that the song continues to perform strongly across multiple regions, rather than relying on one single market, reinforcing the idea that Jin's solo work is resonating on a truly global scale. From Asia to Europe to the Americas, the track keeps appearing in curated playlists, late-night listening rotations, and fan-driven streaming parties that push its numbers steadily upward. What makes the moment even more compelling is the timing, with BTS members pursuing individual projects while maintaining their group identity. Every solo milestone feels like part of a larger narrative about longevity and reinvention. Another Level crossing such a high threshold sends a clear message that Jin's presence remains powerful, whether he is performing as part of the world's biggest boy band or standing alone in the spotlight. For many fans, that balance is exactly what makes his career so fascinating to watch. Online, the excitement shows no sign of cooling down. Fan accounts continue to post countdown graphics toward the next major target, while reaction videos and vocal analysis clips resurface on YouTube and TikTok, introducing the song to new audiences who may have missed it the first time around. Each share, each clip, and each replay adds another fraction to the total, quietly pushing the number higher even after the initial headline has passed. As the streams continue to rise, the industry will be watching closely to see what doors this success opens next. Whether it translates into renewed chart momentum, special live stages, or greater anticipation for future releases, the impact of Another Level is already being felt far beyond a single statistic. The song has become a marker of Jin's staying power in a fast-moving music landscape, a reminder that true hits are not always defined by explosive debuts, but by the ability to endure. And somewhere on Spotify's servers, that counter continues to rise, tick by tick, while millions of listeners around the world press play again, turning one milestone into the foundation for the next. What truly separates this milestone from routine streaming headlines is the emotional weight fans attach to it. For many listeners, Another Level is tied to specific moments: late-night study sessions, long commutes, workouts, or quiet reflections after a stressful day. As people began sharing personal stories about when and why they first discovered the song, the achievement started to feel less like a cold statistic and more like a collective memory built across millions of individual lives. That emotional connection is often what sustains a track long after its promotional cycle has ended. Music commentators have also begun revisiting Jin's broader solo catalog in light of the news, framing Another Level as a pivotal point in his trajectory. Some argue that the song marked a shift toward bolder sonic choices and a more assertive artistic identity, while others see it as the bridge between his earlier releases and whatever direction he chooses next. Either way, the 50 million figure has given critics a reason to reassess his impact, not just as a member of BTS, but as a standalone performer with his own distinct narrative. Meanwhile, the ripple effects are being felt within the fandom itself. Streaming teams are organizing fresh listening sessions, not out of obligation, but out of celebration, treating the milestone as proof that their long-term dedication makes a tangible difference. New fans, drawn in by viral posts and trending hashtags, are diving into Jin's discography for the first time, discovering older tracks and helping lift those numbers as well. The success of one song, in that sense, becomes fuel for an entire catalog. There is also a sense of anticipation hanging in the air about how Jin might acknowledge the moment, whether through a brief message to fans, a behind-the-scenes story about recording the track, or a casual mention during a live broadcast. Supporters are watching closely for any sign that he has noticed the achievement. Even the smallest reaction would likely spark another wave of online celebration, adding fresh energy to a story that continues to evolve by the day. As the music industry grows increasingly competitive, milestones like this carry symbolic weight. They hint at longevity, cultural relevance, and the rare ability to cross linguistic and geographic barriers without losing authenticity. Another Level surpassing 50 million streams is not just about one song performing well, it's about an artist carving out space in a crowded global arena and holding on to it through consistent listener devotion. With each new play, the narrative expands. What began as a single release has turned into a long-running success story, one that keeps unfolding with every refreshed playlist and every first-time listener pressing play. And judging by the momentum still visible across social platforms and streaming charts, Jin's Another Level is far from done climbing. Looking ahead, many in the industry believe this milestone could quietly influence the next phase of Jin's career. Streaming numbers at this scale often shape how labels plan promotions, select future singles, and negotiate international opportunities. And Another Level reaching such a threshold places the song and its artist firmly on that strategic radar. Observers are already speculating that the track's sustained popularity could lead to renewed radio pushes in certain regions, special anniversary content, or even surprise live performances that reintroduce the song to new audiences. The timing also fuels broader conversations about the global appetite for Korean solo artists. While BTS as a group reshaped pop culture on an unprecedented scale, the individual successes of its members continue to demonstrate how deeply that influence runs. Jin's achievement adds another data point to that narrative, reinforcing the idea that listeners are not simply following a brand, but forming long-term relationships with each artist's unique sound and personality. Fans, of course, are dreaming even bigger. Some are already projecting the next milestones, 60 million, 70 million, or beyond, treating the current achievement as just another step in an ongoing journey rather than a final destination. Others are creating compilations of their favorite live moments, vocal runs, and lyric translations, keeping the conversation around the song alive and introducing it to people who might otherwise scroll past. In the digital age, that kind of grassroots enthusiasm can be just as powerful as traditional marketing campaigns. There is also a reflective tone woven into many of the reactions. Supporters are looking back at where Jin stood when the song was first released and comparing it to where he is now, charting a path marked by growing confidence, expanding audiences, and increasingly ambitious creative choices. The 50 million stream marker becomes a snapshot in time, capturing one stage of an artist's evolution before the story inevitably moves forward. For casual listeners who stumble across the headline, the number itself may be what grabs attention, but for those who have followed Jin's journey closely, it represents something more layered: perseverance, connection, and the slow-building power of a song that refuses to fade from rotation. Each replay is a small vote of faith, multiplied millions of times over. And so the story continues, not frozen at a single statistic, but unfolding in real time, with the Spotify counter inching upward and the global audience growing just a little larger with every passing day. Another Level has already secured its place as a major chapter in Jin's solo narrative, but the next chapter is clearly still being written.